Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to AnneBetty's Kitchen, the channel that makes eating an enjoyable yet a health promoting experience. On today's menu is bean stew with fried plantain, also known as red. In Ghana, beans is one of our staple foods. Oh, it's beautiful. There's always, like the wache, there's always a favorite bean spot. And usually they serve it with avocado. And this is because beans, normally we treat it as a protein, but beans is more of a carbohydrate than a protein. Our mothers used to do so much that we just grow up doing the same thing without knowing the reasons why. Like my mom used to soak it, and I asked, why do you soak it? And he said, "Dama na na me ma me into also them." I'm like, this means that's what my mom used to do, so you to do it. And you go further up, and everybody will say, "Oh, I learned it from my mom. I learned it from my mom." But I just found out that it's because beans, like all legumes are beans, black beans, or chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, nuts such as peanuts. So all podded plants are known as legumes, and they contain a chemical called phytates. And what phytates do is that they inhibit minerals such as zinc and iron. They inhibit the absorption, and in order to reduce this, you soak it, and when you soak it, it reduces it. So you either soak it or you sprout it. I'll be bringing you how to sprout your legumes later on. If you want to know more about it, you can get my contact details in the description box. And so when you soak it up, it takes the phytates, it reduces the amount of phytates in it. And once you soak it, don't use the same water you used in soaking, because it's extracted the phytates. Pour out the water that you used in soaking and use a fresh water to do it. Our mothers used to do a lot, which if we find the reasons, like balancing your food, we have banana with nuts. I never knew it's because you have to balance everything, and now I've learned it. I'm like, wow, we need to go back to our roots and ask these questions, because most of the things our grandparents, our mothers used to do, they contain a lot of health reasons which we need to find out. Let's go back to our roots. Sankofa, hwentia. Always remember, whenever you are cooking any legume, treat it as a carbohydrate, because all legumes contain more carbohydrate than protein. Beans contains 8% protein and about 19% carbohydrate, and the rest is fiber, which we need to aid in digestion. So legumes are really nutritious, but treat it as a carbohydrate and balance it with the appropriate fats and proteins. So you know me and my meat, I'm balancing it with goat meat, and it makes the stew so beautiful, the flavors. And this is mackerel, smoked mackerel and pilchards. It gives you the stew this beautiful flavor, and it makes it mouth-watering, and it goes so well with the plantain. And because normally when we have the beans, we have it with the plantain. Remember, the beans is carbohydrate and we are having it with the plantain, so you need to remember how to balance it. We'll balance it when it's done. We'll balance it properly. So I've got these ingredients to marinate the meat and for the bean stew. So all this is for the meat and the bean stews. I'll put all the measurements in the description button. And I've got a bay leaf tree here, so no more using of the dried bay leaves, and it makes such a difference. Oh my goodness, when you cook with the fresh bay leaves, people try it. I'm working on something for someone an expert to come and teach you how to grow your herbs. Trust me, when you grow your herbs and you use them fresh, the aroma it gives your food and the nutritional benefits is amazing. So pretty soon, that's my bay leaf trees. I've got bay leaves here, and I've got a whole bulb of garlic. If you're not a garlicky person, you can reduce it. I'll put all the measurements in the description button. and I've got ginger, and this is fresh turmeric. Turmeric and ginger are good for inflammation, anti-inflammation. So whenever you add this to your food, trust me, you reap the benefit from it. And I've got star anise, I've got grains of selim, hwentia, cloves, and pregoma, and we are going to season our meat with this. So I'm going to chop it all up and blend them together, season the meat, and we use the rest for the stew. Adding just a tiny bit of water. If your blender, you can blend without water, it's the best. And we blend it. I'm adding 2 fresh bay leaves, then my meat, and I'm using half of the marinade. Salt, about half teaspoon of salt, and black pepper. And I've got 1 tablespoon of the AnneBetty's all-purpose seasoning. I'll give you the recipe to my all-purpose seasoning. It's all natural spices, so no MSG, no additives, no preservatives. So when you use the natural spices, these are packed with antioxidants, no additives, no preservatives. It makes you get the nutrient benefit of all these ingredients. And we are going to steam it. So we are going to steam it in the Niger, and steaming needs this cover, and you close it anti-clockwise, and we put it on pressure cooking. Sorry, I'm pressure cooking it because I want it to be fast. Then I love onions, so I use a lot of onions in my cooking, and onions are packed with so much antioxidant. If you are not an onion person, you can reduce it, but this is what I use, and I chop it small. So I'm going to chop this one small. Then this, I'll use it as a garnishing, so I'll chop it big. I'll show you. My onions, I cut this bit off, and I don't throw away. I add it to the stuff I blend. I add it to the stuff, and I add the seeds for the peppers. I add the seeds, but this white bits, they make it, they are a bit bitter, so I cut it off and add the seeds to it to blend. So, and I forgot, I blended my inkiti, the honey seeds, and calabash nutmeg. In Ghana it's known as wudiaba. Don't worry, all the measurements will be in the description box, but I forgot to show it, but it's all blended in there. So this bit, I don't add it to it, I throw it away. It makes it bitter. So our meat is ready, and now I'm going to cook the beans. Because it's all going in the stew, I'm not going to wash it, and I'll just put the beans in. So I'm going to cook the beans, and remember, I'm going to pour the water I soaked it in away. There's something in the sink, I'm not just pouring it straight. And I wash it a bit. I wash it with the Ghanaian water. So you can use your drinking water, whatever water you use in cooking, and I wash it. And in it goes. And I add about 1 cup because I'm going to do it, cook it in the ninja. And I add a bit of salt because this is a pressure cooker. Normally, if you are not using a pressure cooker, don't add your salt at the beginning because it makes it a bit hard and difficult to cook. But the pressure cooker cooks it so fast. Within 10 minutes, it will be cooked. So I add a bit of the salt to give it a taste. And I add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. It makes the beans beautiful when it cooks up. Stir so it mixes well, and we pressure cook it. So my zomi, and it smells beautiful. It's palm oil, but it's extracted in a very special way, which gives it so much flavor. And it contains palmitic acid, which is packed with antioxidants and fatty acids. And I've got salted beef. This also, my stew, if you were living with me or living close by, when I cook, my neighbors are like, what were you cooking? So the salted beef gives it flavor. But if you are vegetarian, you can omit this. But if not, and you are a meat eater like me, then please add the salted beef. It gives it flavor. So I'm going to leave the onions, and I've got 3 bay leaves. These are the fresh ones for my bay leaf tree. So I'm going to leave it to saute for about a minute. Then I'll add the blended spices. In goes our blended spices. So in goes, I've got shrimp powder. If you are allergic to shrimps, please omit this. But if not, it gives it so much flavor and a very unique and beautiful taste. And this is AnneBetty's all-purpose spice. I'll be bringing you this recipe, I promise you. I'll give it a stir. And in goes our meat, the goat meat. It should be here. It smells gorgeous. I'll leave it to stew for a bit, then we add the beans. In goes our beans. And our beans were cooked in 10 minutes, people. 10 minutes. The ninja, honestly. Ninja, you need to give me a discount for my people. And we stir it and leave it to stew. And it becomes white so that it absorbs it. Now it's, how should I say it? When it really absorbs the stew, it looks a bit mashed up, and that's when you know your bean stew has arrived. Boutique bean stew. I'm going to, in goes all our fish. The mackerel and the pilchards. I'm going to leave it to stew for about a minute or so, so that all the flavors infuse. Then I'll taste it, whether it needs a bit of salt. Then our sauce is done. So I cut the onions really big, and it garnishes it. Then in goes our peppers. I cut them big like this. It makes it beautiful and as a garnish, and also we get fiber, and these are vegetables, you know, so we've got some vegetables in it, well balanced. So we'll give it a taste and see if the salt is okay. A pinch of salt, a pinch. I've added the vegetables, and it gives it a very beautiful flavor and taste. Plus you get the fiber and the nutrient properties from it. I'll leave it for about a minute and our beans is done. So remember, our bean stew is with fried plantain. I'm doing the plantains in the ninja. Yeah, I know, ninja has become too much, but honestly speaking, you don't need a lot of oil for the deep frying. You don't. I just sprinkle it with, and the funny thing is, I realized when I sprinkle it with the toasted sesame oil, it gives it this lovely flavor. So that's what I'm going to do. So what we do is you cut it up, and usually we cut it up, put it in brine, not too salty though. Salt, water with salt in it. Then we deep fry. I'm going to do all this in the ninja and it comes out perfectly. It's just amazing. So I'm going to cut all this up and fry it in the ninja. Plantain is all cut and I season with salt and pepper and a bit of, you need a bit of oil, otherwise it will stick. And the oil gives it flavor. I use toasted sesame seeds, like I said. And add salt. And sesame oil, about a tablespoon of the sesame oil. And mix it all up. Need to flip it over, but you see how it looks? It looks fried, but you flip it over so the side will be cooked as well. So I'm going to flip all, then it goes back in. People, our beans is done, and this is how to balance it. So I've got the beans with the fish and the meat, a bit of avocado and the plantain. And what I do is, before I have this, I have my salad as the starter, so I get my fiber. So when you balance it like this, you wouldn't feel too, you know, when people eat beans and they say they feel sleepy. Whenever you eat and you feel sleepy, it means you've overeaten. And once you have your salads, and my cameraman is giving me eyes, it's true, don't overeat, people. We need to, and as soon as you eat and you feel full, stop eating. Even if it's left with just one bite, stop it. Our bodies talk to us, and once we listen to it, it will serve us well. Now I need to taste it. I can't wait, people. And when the carbohydrate is also too much, it makes you sleepy. When you have salad, you finish and you feel refreshed, I'll catch you. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit on the notification button so you will know first on whenever a new video is uploaded. I'll catch you next week. Ciao.